umaga sa inyong lahat. Ako si John Mark at ngayon nagpapakita ko sa inyo ang kwento ng paaralang 17 taon na nagpapakita ng dangal at talino. Ito ang mataas na paaralang panganggap ng Caloocan, ang Caloocan CCSHS School. 17 taon ng dangal at talino, tatak kalsay.
Ang mataas sa paaraw ng Caloocan ay 17 taon. Ito ay tinatapos ng 23 Oktubre taong 1900 sa formula ng ating punong lungsod na si Reynaldo Manos at ng ating pinakamamahal na congressman na si Honorable Oscar Labi at ng ating division superintendent na si Victor.
Ang mga kasayanyo ay masisipag, daga, mauutang. Higit sa lahat, may pinamahal at talino.
Ang mga kasayanyo, hindi lang magaling sa larangan patalikuhan. Magaling rin sila sa larangan ng sports. Alam naman natin na sa lahat ng competition sinalihan ng mga kasayanyo ay hindi ka naman natin na meron naman sila mapapatan.
Caloocan City Science High School is a school that strictly implements the importance of school discipline among the students of the school. Certain rules on school discipline are being implemented, and the authority who are authorized to implement these rules and regulations. Every school shall maintain the discipline inside and outside the school, and also in the activities that are authorized by the school itself. Imposition of disciplinary action is also important. Officials and teachers have the right to improve appropriate and reasonable disciplinary measures in case of offenses or infractions of good discipline. However, no cruel or physical harmful punishment shall be imposed to any student regardless of the offense. Minor offenses in the school include the following: improper grooming, loitering, and unnecessary talking along the corridors and the offices of the school. Other offenses include playing practical jokes, having improper conduct, and deliberately skipping morning exercises and flag retreats that are annually held in the school. Other offenses include late or non-submission of report cards and other important documents, and the violation of the rules implemented in the school laboratory and in the school library. Playing video games, billiards, pool, and other related games wearing the school uniform is also not allowed, including improper wearing of uniform, and littering around the campus is also prohibited. Certain penalties will be implemented for the people who will not follow these rules. First offense, giving them a reprimand and a warning slip. A second offense will have a PTC and an issuance of a discipline slip. And a third offense will have a PTC written agreement and community service as well. The fourth offense will be a PTC written agreement and 1 day suspension that will be held on campus. Committing two different minor offenses shall merit a second offense status regardless of the offense done. Major offenses are also included, and it may lead to suspension or expulsion. For first and other offenses that are not very serious in nature, a suspension from school not to exceed 3 days may be authorized by the principal without the prior approval of the division superintendent. For a persistent offender or one guilty of a serious offense, A suspension for not more than 1 year may be imposed that is subject to the approval of the superintendent. In all cases of suspension, a written promise of future exemplary conduct signed by the student and countersigned by his parents or guardians will be required as a condition for readmission and must be required in the case of suspension for more than 3 days. Some of the offenses punishable by suspension are gross misconduct, circulating false information, cheating, and also stealing. Other offenses include assaulting any teacher or any school authority, smoking inside the campus, and vandalism, and destroying other properties, laboratory equipment, and the likes. Gambling of any sort is also not allowed. Also, bringing or drinking intoxicants and liquors are not allowed. Carrying and concealing deadly weapons, extortion, fighting causing injury, and the usage of prohibited drugs and hazing in any form is not tolerated inside the campus. Immorality or any form of sexual harassment is not allowed. Instigating of activities leading to the stoppage of classes, preventing anyone to attend school, forging or tampering of important records, and cutting classes are also some of the major offenses in the school. Likewise, penalties for committing the major offenses will also be implemented to any student who will commit such offense. First offense will have a PTC agreement and 1-day suspension. Second offense will have the same agreement, 2-day suspension. And the third offense, a PTC agreement and a 3-day suspension. All suspensions will be done inside the campus and certain activities will be done to those students. A committee on discipline is also tasked to decide on the important cases regarding offenses, and it is composed of the following board members. The principal will be the chairman of the committee, the guidance counselor will be a voting member, likewise with the SG advisor, and the faculty member. The class advisor will be a non-voting member, but still a member of the committee on discipline. Here is Caloocan City Science High School grading system and selection of honors format. According to DepEd Order Number 8 Series of 2015, here are the policy guidelines on classroom assessment for the K-12 program. A memorandum has already been signed by the Department of Education indicating its full implementation. Department of Education is now adopting the policy guidelines on the classroom assessment for the K-12 program. It is an integral part of curriculum implementation, and it also gives track of the progress of the students. And these effective guidelines will be implemented in all schools nationwide, and even the non-DepEd schools are urged to implement these policy guidelines as well. Special programs may further issue supplementary guidelines in relation to the concerns on the program. The guidelines will remain in force and in effect for the duration of the program, unless amended to. The Secretary of the Department of Education has already approved the program. Here are the guidelines on classroom assessment. Assessment is a process that is used to keep track of the progress of all the learners in relation to the standards of the 21st century. Classroom assessment is an ongoing process of identifying, gathering, and organizing information, and 2 types of assessment are as follows. We have the formative and the summative. Formative assessment may be seen as an assessment for learning, or these are the initial learnings of a student, while the summative assessment will be seen and occurs after a lesson has been discussed, and it is composed of the written work, performance task, and quarterly assessment. In the written work, this includes all the written forms like quizzes, essays, and the likes, while performance task is an execution of learning done by the students. For the quarterly assessment every quarter, this will measure the learning that they have gained throughout the quarter. And here is the grading system of the school. The K-12 basic education program uses a standard and a competent-based grading system. The minimum grade in a learning area is 60, which is transmuted to 75. And here are the weight of the components for grades 1 to 10. For languages, AP and ESP, a 30-50-20 format is followed, while in science and math, 40-40-20. And for MAPE and EPP or TLE, 20-60-20%. The average of all those grades will produce the final grade. The general average is computed by the sum of all final grades divided by the total number of learning areas. The final grade in each learning area and general average are reported as whole numbers. And here are the descriptors, grading scale, and remarks. The scale comes from outstanding, very satisfactory, satisfactory, fairly satisfactory, and did not meet expectations. For the selection of honor students of the school, Depth Order number 74 series of 2012 indicates the guidelines on the selection of honor students, and likewise it has already been approved by the Department of Education. Enclosure number 1, Depth Order number 74 of 2012 indicates the following guidelines. Candidates for honor shall be drawn from the top 10 in each level without a final grade of 85. A 7 3-point scheme is followed, 7 for academic and 3 points for the co-curricular activities. And transfer rates shall be considered in the ranking provided they were enrolled not later than the second week. There will be a general average computed to 3 decimal places computed. And all candidates must be of good moral character and have not been subjected to any disciplinary action. Achievements in all subjects will also be recognized, and a separate set of students may be recognized as well. Duly recognized annexes of public schools will also have their own set of honor students. Any member of the committee must not be related within the second degree of consanguinity to any of the candidates. And the selection committee will be led by the school head, followed by other authorities. In case of protest, it shall be five working days before the final ranking. The existing depth order will be applied in grade 2 to 6 of the elementary and 2nd to 4th year. And here is the procedure on how the honor students are ranked. Academic excellence is for 7 points based on the general average of all learning areas. The final grade will be computed and a multiplication process will also be done. For co-curricular performance, it is only 3 points and 5 components will compose it. And here is the procedure for computing the co-curricular performance grade. Each candidate must present all the copies of all files that show evidence of their achievements. And each achievement must be validated by the committee. And all the achievements of each candidate will be classified according to the stated 5 areas of co-curricular performance. First, the official contests and competitions that should be recognized by the Department of Education, and particular points will be given for every recognition obtained in competition. Student leadership is also included, particularly to the student government of each school, and certain point table system is also implemented. Campus journalism will only be recognized if the school has released its official paper for the school year, and points will be given to the people who compose the editorial board. Officership and membership in DepEd established organizations will also be recognized. Likewise, certain points will be given to all the members. Participation or attendance in DepEd seminars, camp, or other conferences must have a debit order or memorandum, and a point system is also applied. Computations of points shall be cumulative and must be well facilitated. All the evidences must be presented in the computation of co-curricular performance. They must present an accomplishment report to verify all achievements. Using the illustration matrix, the total points of each candidate will be computed by the end of the computation, and the following matrix will be used in the actual open ranking procedure. Rank the candidates from highest to the lowest based on their total earnings, and multiply the rank by 3 points to get the weighted rank desired. Add the weighted ranks of the pupils and rank them from the lowest score to the highest score. For the awards and selection of honors, there will be the top 5 students. And for the undergraduates, first, second, and third honors will be recognized. The principals list: Gold Seal shall have no grade lower than 90 and an average of 95. No grade lower than 90 and an average of 94.99 to the Silver. And Bronze Seal 90 and average of 92 to 93.99. Discussion on the K-12 Basic Education Program. As said by the President of the Republic of the Philippines, education is the key to solving the long-term problems of the nation.
For grade 7 to 12.
Here is a core curriculum and career guide. In order for the Filipino learners to be globally competitive, they need to develop 21st century core skills. And besides this, they need to undergo the extended high school program to prepare them for their career and higher education, because secondary education is primarily designed to provide the transition from school to work and from school straight to further learning. The curriculum shall be designed to provide a blended career and college preparatory program. Putting the two on the same level and blending them will enhance the seamless relationship between career and higher education and will give them equal social and economic value. And here will be the trend followed in the junior and senior high school curriculum. As of this year, grade 11 will begin to be implemented in the senior high school, opening the pioneer batch in the country. And for grades 11 and 12, the learning areas will depend on the track that they will be selecting. Students who finish high school then work have better income opportunities, while those who complete 2 years of college has a reduction in cost of schooling, while those who complete college will have reduction in college years. And a full 12 years of basic education will be required for entry into tertiary level education by 2018 to 2019. Graduates of the K-12 Basic Education Program are envisaged to be better and prepared for life, as they are expected to possess the skills as they will learn in the K-12 Basic Education Program. They will be adequately prepared for the world of work or entrepreneurship or higher education, and they will become employable and competitive. An enhanced curriculum will decongest academic workload, giving them more time to master the competencies that they need to have. Graduates will possess competencies and skills relevant to the market today, and they will be prepared for higher education. They will be able to earn higher wages and better prepare them to have their own business. And it is shown that in the Philippines, the schooling increases its earnings by 7.5%. K-12 will contribute to economic growth. It has been shown that the improvements in the quality of education will increase the GDP growth by 2%, and a better educated society will also be developed. And it will be free for those in public schools, and it will be subsidized by the government for those in the ESC program.
For the teachers of Caloocan City Science High School. Teacher in charge, Mrs. Priscilla Katanawan. For the Mathematics, Research, and Science Department. Department Head, Mrs. Clarissa Avila. Statistics, Mr. Reginald Ong Leo. Earth Science, Mr. Angelo Capi. Physics, Mrs. Abigail Manzano. Geometry and Calculus, Miss Maria Lourdes Nano. Special Science, Miss Aimee Su. Research, Mr. Aaron Brent Mulaton. Intermediate Algebra, Analytical Geometry, and Linear Algebra, Mrs. Jennifer Mondoy. Integrated Science and Chemistry, Ms. Laura Canceran. Math, Mr. Paulo Arcerio. Socio-Cultural Department. Department Head, Mr. Ramchen Banganiban. MAPE, Ms. Ruth Kiban. Social Studies, Mrs. Eileen Bonifacio. Mr. Tosha Kapintog for ICT, along with Mrs. Giselle Gonzalez. ESP, Ms. Joy Garcia.
ESP, Mrs. Evangeline Oliver. MAPE, Mr. Raymond Camacho.
For the Languages Department. Department Head, Ms. Racy Seidel, which holds English and French. Ms. Christine Kayat for English 9 and 10. Mrs. Jennifer Rojas for Filipino. Basic Mandarin, Ms. Joy Garcia. Advanced Mandarin for Ms. Sue. Technical Writing, Ms. Jalifen Ribon.
Filipino 8 and 9, Ms. Derby Flavio.
May iba't ibang selebrasyon na ginagawa sa paaralan upang maipakita ang mga talento at kakayahan ng mga mag-aaral. Gaya ng Science Month kung saan nakikita ng mga estudyante ang iba't ibang mga konseptong na may kinalaman sa agham at pinapakita din ang naaangking talento at kagandahan ng mga mag-aaral. Sa palakasan naman ay nagsusubok ang kanilang mga kakayahan sa taunang intramurals at ang isa sa pinaka-inaabang kompetisyon ang Mr. and Miss Intramurals. At bilang selebrasyon naman ng buwan ng Araling Panlipunan, ginaganap ang taon ng Cultural Night kung saan napapakita ang talento ng mga mag-aaral sa pagsayaw at ipinapakita din ang kultura ng iba't ibang mga bansa sa buong mundo. At kung dito rin makikita ang kakaibang talento ng mga kalsayenyo. Meron ding mga organisasyon sa iba't ibang mga asignatura upang maipakita din ang mga interes at kakayahan ng mga kalsayenyo gaya ng teatro, sayaw, math, araling panlipunan at meron ding mga kinalaman sa pagsulat gaya ng ang CCSHS. Ang mga estudyante ay malayong pumili ng kanilang kagustuhan.
to katulad nitong vertical garden.
Maliban sa pagiging environmental friendly na ang programang ito, ang vertical gardening ay may layunin ding pagandahin ang pangalan natin. Tignan mo.
Yan ang kalsay. May dangal, talino, at higit sa lahat, tatak kalsayin.